Kendrick Lamar might be on the verge of rewriting Grammy history in 2026, and he's doing it in a way only he can. Quiet, calculated, and completely dominant. He hasn't dropped an album this year. He hasn't even gone on tour. But somehow, Kendrick is standing at the front of the Grammy race, and it looks like he could clean up once again. According to Billboard, the Compton legend is a major contender to not only win big, but break several records that have stood for decades. If there was ever a moment that proved Kendrick is truly built different, it's this one. Here's the reality. If Kendrick wins Album of the Year at the 2026 Grammys, he'll become the first solo male rapper in history to take home that award. Let that sink in. For all the legendary albums that have come out of hip-hop, from Nas to Eminem to Kanye, none of them have managed to snatch that top honor as solo male rappers. Kendrick would be the first. That's the kind of history we're talking about. And that's just the beginning. If he walks away with 3 awards, Kendrick will tie Jay-Z for the most Grammy wins by any rapper. Jay has held that position for years, seen as a symbol of consistency and longevity in the rap game. But Kendrick is catching up fast, and he's doing it without the same level of commercial noise, flashy headlines, or social media hype. He's doing it on pure skill, sharp messages, and a body of work that continues to age like fine wine. Then there's the possibility of Kendrick winning Record of the Year. If he manages that, he'll become only the 4th artist ever to win it back-to-back. That's not just rare, that's legendary. We're talking about being in a category of artists who don't just make hits, they shift the culture. Kendrick's music has always carried deeper meaning. It's poetry with purpose, and now it's on the edge of earning him a place among the greatest names to ever touch a mic. What makes all of this even more surreal is how little Kendrick has done publicly this year. No album, no tour, no endless interviews or social media campaigns. While other artists flood timelines with content and fight for attention, Kendrick stays in the shadows and somehow commands all the light. That's power. That's influence. That's the mark of someone who doesn't chase the game. He controls it. It's moments like these that remind us why Kendrick Lamar is more than just a rapper. He's a cultural force. He doesn't just make music. He makes moments. And each time he steps out, it's like the entire industry pauses to see what he's going to do next. There's an aura around him that very few artists carry. He doesn't need to explain himself. The music does all the talking, and it speaks loudly. Of course, we can't talk about greatness without mentioning Drake. Let's keep it real. Drake is the only artist who's truly matching Kendrick's energy on a consistent level. Others have tried to keep up, but most fell off or got comfortable in their lanes. Drake, on the other hand, continues to evolve, adapt, and dominate. His catalog is massive, his streaming numbers are unmatched, and his influence spans genres. He's one of the most successful artists of this generation, period. What's crazy is how different Kendrick and Drake are, yet how they both sit at the top. Kendrick is the quiet assassin, low profile, high impact. Drake is the global pop rap star, always visible, always delivering hits. They represent 2 completely different approaches to the game, but both have earned respect in their own way. It's like a balance. One brings depth, the other brings volume. One moves the soul, the other moves the charts. And when they both drop, the world stops. What Kendrick's on the verge of doing isn't just good for him, it's good for hip-hop. For years, rap has had a complicated relationship with the Grammys. Countless legendary artists have been snubbed, overlooked, or miscategorized. The genre that dominates streaming, influences fashion, and drives youth culture has often been treated like an outsider in the room. But now, Kendrick is forcing the industry to pay attention on his terms. He's not begging for approval. He's earning it with every bar, every concept, every performance. People who grew up on Kendrick know what he represents. He came into the game with something to say, and he's never stopped speaking truth to power. From Good Kid, Mad City to the Pimp a Butterfly Dam, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, each project felt like a time capsule, deeply personal yet universally relevant. He's the kind of artist who can address systemic racism, personal trauma, spiritual conflict, and still make it sound like a classic. This level of impact doesn't come around often. That's why people are excited about what Kendrick might do at the 2026 Grammys. It's not just about the trophies, It's about the statement. It's about solidifying hip-hop's place at the highest levels of artistic recognition. It's about proving that lyricism, storytelling, and intentional music still matter in an era where attention spans are short and trends move fast. And let's be honest, Kendrick doing all of this while staying out of the spotlight just makes it more impressive. He's not out here dropping features every week or doing brand deals every month. He disappears, works in silence, and when he comes back, it's with something that shakes the whole industry. It's rare, it's special, and it reminds fans why they fell in love with hip-hop in the first place. Still, even with all the praise Kendrick is receiving, there's something refreshing about the unspoken competition between him and Drake. It keeps the culture alive. It pushes both artists to stay sharp. You know when Kendrick drops, Drake is going to respond. When Drake dominates the charts, you wonder what Kendrick is cooking behind the scenes. It's that quiet rivalry that has given us some of the best music of the last decade. Kendrick may win big in 2026, but win or lose, his legacy is already set. These Grammy predictions only confirm what fans have known for years. Kendrick is in a league of his own. He doesn't need gimmicks. He doesn't need clout. He lets the work speak, and when it does, it echoes across generations. The fact that he's poised to break records without even releasing new music this year is almost unfair, but it's also proof of his staying power. He's the kind of artist people don't forget. Whether he's active or not, he's always in the conversation. That's the sign of true greatness. And while others chase charts and TikTok trends, Kendrick continues to build a legacy rooted in depth, purpose, and raw skill. That's why, whether he wins Album of the Year, ties Jay-Z, or takes Record of the Year back-to-back, the world will be watching, not just to see what Kendrick wins, but to witness history being made again. Because Kendrick isn't just an artist, he's a movement, and right now, that movement is headed straight to the Grammy stage.